If more of you supported the show, I'd be less sick of podcasts.
Blah-blah-blah.
Sending out good vibes.
Blah-blah-blah.
Good vibes. Good vibes. Good vibes. Good vibes.
108 breaths of deep gratitude and prayers for guidance and protection. And put on a didgeridoo and shamanic drumming track. Shivers or vibrations and stuff like that.
But the instant gratification from these millennials wanting to try to astral project, it's just ridiculous. I don't get it. Like, you need to put in the work. You're not just going to be gifted something like this. It doesn't work like that.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the Grimerica show. We are going to be chatting with Derek English a little bit later about astral traveling and astral realms and OBEs,
spirit
and
guides,
maybe a little NDE, maybe some troublesome spirit guides. Speaking of troublesome spirit guides, we got everybody's favorite podcaster here.
Thanks, buddy.
Graham Full-Timer Dunlop.
This is where we just ramble on about things before the interview. So if you want to just fast forward to the interview, go ahead. But sometimes this is the best part of the show.
There's a timestamp in the show notes.
Yeah, thanks.
What's the, what do you mean sometimes the best part of the show?
Sometimes I got a great little segment here for you.
A little segment?
Yeah, little segment.
Like this
you know what's funny
short?
is after we interviewed Derek, I was thinking back about his spirit guides. I thought, maybe they're not spirit guides. Maybe they're like evil entities or something, and they're just tricksters and playing tricks on him, and he just thinks they're his spirit guides.
Because of maybe he accidentally summoned him at a CSETI thing?
No. What is that? He was never doing the CSETI, I don't think. Did he mention that?
No, but I think it came up.
Really? Maybe.
It always comes up when we're talking about evil entities.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, just because you meet them in the astral realm doesn't mean they're your spirit guides, right? I mean,
since you were scared straight.
Scared straight.
From
CE5s?
CE5.
I'm not scared straight from CE5s. I just,
When was the last time you went?
It's been a while. Yeah.
How long?
I don't know. I'm not counting.
Are you going to go next month?
Why? Is there one next month?
Well, you'll be in the Washington Scablands.
Well, maybe we'll try a little one or something. I don't know. I don't need to. Like, I just don't need to see. Like, honestly, what's going to happen? Like, am I going to make contact with some entity? Then I'm going to have a bunch more questions. And it's just not, like, I don't really have the desire to put the effort in right now to do that. Like, do you understand what I mean? You do, because you know.
I never have.
Yeah, you never have. So you know what I mean. But I don't need to see it. Like, it doesn't answer any questions, right? No. It just brings up a bunch more questions. I make contact with lights in the sky, things flying around. A whole bunch of people have these experiences, and then we're like, oh, wow, that's great. We kind of made some headway maybe in making contact. But really, what answers do you have?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the world's going to shit, and
waste of time.
They're not helping out.
Oh, yeah, we need their help.
Yeah.
Why can't we just fix it?
Well, apparently we can't. I mean, that's ideally what, apparently the guy, the people should be able to make the fixes, right? Like, we have the power apparently, right? But we can't because
maybe we are fixing it.
We're just divided. Left, right, center, up, down, every which way. Masked, unmasked, jabbed, unjabbed.
What a great time for an election, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't get enough of the videos of Trudeau being chased out of places.
Yeah, I don't know. He's still going to win.
I mean, I don't care what the reason is, or they say it's the anti-vaxxer this or the that or the other. I mean, it's still pretty funny because I don't see it happen to anybody else.
That's true, yeah.
He used to be just the golden boy. Remember everything swimming in? You just can't get around we're dangerous.
Well, I mean, he's literally promising $1 billion to basically help divide everybody, right? Here, I'm going to give you as a company some money to help segregate the population, right?
We'll promise not to hire any unvaccinated people. Owners can be unvaccinated.
Imagine.
And contractors don't matter either. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Can we get some money for that, you think? You should look into that on your full-time podcast and date.
I don't even want to.
See if we can get like $100 $100,000 grant.
That's not the way it goes now. That's like messing around with nasty spirit guys.
We need that to implement a vaccine passport system for our employees.
For Grimerica?
Yeah, because this is how we'll figure out how it all works, so we can figure out how to bypass it. Or something. We'll get the cash and then we'll figure it out. We won't ever implement it. I mean, we don't have any employees. It's foolproof. Unless I spin it around on you somehow and all of a sudden, Graham has to get the vax.
Imagine that.
On the air.
Imagine that. I quit. Then I'd be on the street, literally on the street.
I had to bring in a replacement that's all vaxxed up.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be terrible. I'd have to get your smartphone.
I mean, hey, it's ramping up. We were just talking about it. I mean, I don't want to get into this too much because I got like a operation project and a quote and some emails to talk about. But
we better never go public.
Alberta and Saskatchewan seem like, we're holding out. But you know what? The funny thing is, the rest of the country thinks we're fucking crazy over here.
Russia too.
They think we're crazy. I mean, BC thinks that we're Calgary. Everybody, I keep hearing from everybody, okay, you're going to Calgary? Oh my God, it must be terrible there.
It's great.
It's great. What? Nobody's sick and
Fest
there's no masks and everybody's fine.
So packed. It was crazy.
And it's just, we're living in a bizarre world.
Crazy. Like leaving that place, you have to go through that. It's almost like you'd be crowd to get onto a train or something. But we were crowd to get onto buses.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting on a bus per se. I was walking.
A lot of masks? Some masks?
No, there wasn't very many masks. There was a couple mask zones. They made a couple mandatory mask zones for the maskies to go hang out, which is nice of them. There's one off in the corner over here and another one over there.
That's good. That's great.
It's perfect. If you wanted to be away from the people without masks, you could go be away from them over there in the corner. And but when I was there Thursday with Natasha, it was busy enough, but it wasn't insane. But when me and the kids went on Saturday, it was fucking craziness. Like crazy. I stood in line for probably 40 minutes to get food.
Wow.
And then another 20 minutes to get.
So you're talking about a big fireworks event?
Yeah.
We watched it from here. We saw him from here.
You have from my place? You were at my place?
No, from not here, but just down the road. Yeah, from Chestermere.
If you go over by the Walmart, you can see him good.
No, we saw him from our road.
Yeah, no, you can see him decent. But over at the Walmart, you can see him good. It's like a 5-minute drive.
Right.
You pull up. Yeah, maybe you make out, steam up the windows.
There you go. Like the old drive-through days.
There you go. So it's a drive-up fireworks festival. So anyway, when you leave, you have to go through that space. It's probably 20 feet wide, 20, 25 feet wide. And you all got to go through there. And it was like a funnel of people going in there. And you're stuck. And it's just probably you got to get through 100 feet, 60 feet. And it's just fucking wall to wall. Got to hold the kids' hands. There's so many people crammed in. If there's any COVID in there, everybody's got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Except you're outdoors. And apparently it doesn't
spread. You had to wear the masks on the buses too.
Yeah, well.
I wasn't on the buses though.
Well, I mean, hey, in BC and in Manitoba, you got to wear them indoor in all public places coming in beginning of September. So they're both doing it again. They're both
all our shit's supposed to again end on September 16th. Wouldn't that be something?
I have some predictions of what's going to happen in Alberta and Canada, but I don't think we'll talk about it now.
No, your predictions are usually pretty
black-pilled. They're pretty accurate from the last year and a half. We've seen this coming. It's pretty weird that it's here.
It's not here, though. We're a bastion of freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't Putin just outlaw him?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there in Russia.
I heard Putin banned him.
Banned what?
Banned vaccine, this or that.
I don't know. That's interesting, yeah.
He banned the ability to discriminate based on vaccine status.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know who else did? Montana.
Really?
So, I mean, if we're going by geography,
just go down.
This is borders us and Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just be Montana. Maybe it'd just be the city of Montana, the country of Montana.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just tie up with
nukes.
Montana. Oh my God.
Good to go. All right. So what do you got? I went bird hunting today. What'd you do all weekend?
I was reading ISIS Unveiled. It's a great book. Oh
Is
my
it?
God. Oh yeah. It's fucking. It's out of all the like the secret doctrines and all that. This is one of my favorites. It's pretty cool.
I forgot this.
They were really battling against science and religion back then in the 1800s. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
I forgot to save chapter 4, so I had to redo it.
Do you know how many times I want to take a picture and just put the thing in social media somewhere?
I just want to like reach in the computer and slap you for saying the same sentence fucking 7 times in a row.
We don't have to get into that now.
Yeah, I think
Imagine what it's like doing it.
I couldn't imagine. I could not fucking imagine. It's frustrating to listen to.
You don't even hear the times I turn it off and do it without recording.
Sometimes I can hear you like practicing. And then you're practicing the wrong word. Owry. Things went owry.
Ari. What is it again?
Awry.
Awry. Do you know that since we made fun of latent, I've read it 15 times.
I know, I heard it. I see you're doing it right now, though.
I was doing it right, then I was doing it wrong. And the thing is, some of these things flip back and forth. Let's not talk
You
about
didn't
this.
notice the
Let's not-
time I like slipped it into the chats because you were like talking about how it's all these hard to pronounce
Yeah, I
words.
did. I did.
And I was like,
noticed
now
that.
do
Yeah.
Owry. Now
Yeah.
do Awry. Of course, we're talking about the audiobooks. We're at adultbrain.ca. 18 or 19 of them available now. Graham's talking about ISIS Unveiled coming soon. I think I got the first six or 7 chapters uploaded already.
Yeah.
So that'll be out, I'd say in September sometime. If you want to check that out, we got a ton of audiobooks there. Esoteric Classics, Secret Teaching of All Ages, Secret Doctrine 1, 2, 3, Hamlet's Mill. Bunch of other ones.
Yeah.
Bunch of those are like 34, 35-hour books. You get them. It supports the show. It's fantastic. It's great. Helps us out a lot.
Put a good review in there. Of course, that will help us for the future as well. You know, review it on Amazon or Audible.
True.
Yeah.
You should come. When are you going to come bird hunting? You should get a license so you can fucking hunt.
I don't want to hunt birds.
It's fun.
No, I don't know. I'd rather just sit at home and read.
Hunting birds is almost funner than hunting big game.
Yeah. How'd your kids do?
Madison got 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's officially better at self-sustaining herself than you.
Yeah,
I think she's
definitely. A 10-year-old has beat me in the prepping category.
Yeah. It's because she even, they plucked them and they wanted to gut them and everything themselves, but it was getting late. So, and the knives are sharp. So, but they'll get there.
Yeah.
Birds are pretty easy. We had them for dinner.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, it's just life. It's life. We're just living life over here. I mean, it's harder to cheer you on for going to the grocery store and buying a pork chop, but I mean, that's good for you too. I mean, you did it. You got through the day.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I bought a quarter of a pig from the Hutterites.
Which ones?
I don't know.
Who'd you get that from?
All right, let's move on.
No. Just some guy on the street.
My weekly meat deliverer.
Who's that?
No, actually, a meat deliverer did come by.
Is that who you got the pig from?
No.
Should I be worried?
No.
Okay. The bacon's delicious.
Yeah, it's good, eh?
It is
Yeah.
pretty good. All right, what do you got?
I got an email about, I don't know if you guys remember hearing us talking about Fire the Grid. Remember that? We had friends of the show that were doing videos on it as well, and Celia, the CE5. CE5 coordinator from here. I actually met Samoya once at her place, but they did that meditation, basically that joy meditation. So
how'd that go?
I'll read you the kind of the synopsis and stuff. We'll talk. Oh, I need the clip cord too.
What? You want the clip cord?
too after.
I don't know if that's appropriate.
Oh, actually, it won't fit in this. Or will it fit in this computer? Yeah.
Why?
I just got to play a quick YouTube video after.
You're playing YouTube videos on the show?
What do you mean? It's from the email, Darren.
This is all you get. That's as long as it is. That's it. Don't pull on that. When I say that's it, I mean
That's it, eh? Okay.
Well, you're supposed to sit here, but for some reason you sit over there.
Well, so I can look at you and talk to you.
Weeks
I have to do that.
You
I have to see you.
it's a
I
thing
know.
for it.
I need you to focus on me when I'm talking.
Good luck. You should be better looking.
As soon as I start reading this, you're going to go disappear on me. I'm going to be like, wait, stay with me.
Are you going to play? Or you don't want to move?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. I'll see if I can find an extender.
So anyways, she had just received a call from Samoya who said that the beings communicated with her more clearly than she'd ever had in a long time. So Samoya had a near-death experience. It was incredible. And she was basically told by the beings, I think, how to heal her son, who was also in the accident at the time. Like they were in a car accident and they died and came back. Pretty incredible story. And back in the day, she was on Nori's show and all that. And they did this Fire the Grid, which was pretty profound back then. So they got in touch with her again, and they said that the reason why they wanted it now, like short notice, like boom, boom, is because there's a volcano erupting on Iceland right now, which was going to be the start of a chain of highly destructive events.
George Nori?
And that is why they made a rapid appeal to organize the Fire the Grid and speed up humanity's progression into a higher frequency to counter this negative timeline. So she was shocked that she heard this message word for word so clearly, and she hopped on the internet with her son and found the video that was about the volcano. And she asked her whether or not the chain of events was intentionally started by the darkness. And she tuned in and heard that everything has been purposefully done by the dark since 1918 on our timeline. What is 1918? What do you think about
That was the end of World War I.
Oh. Interesting. Then they said we have enough people to fire the grid and stay the course. Yeah, darkness after World War I.
So you see this happens. This is what happens when I give you the clipboard. I get to listen to your email.
So she tuned in and said, oh, hang on a sec. And on with the show. This is it. So everybody take their places. And then Samoya saw a series of curtains that were lifting, big, heavy drapes lifting up and transforming into birds and flying away. She said the curtains were heavy darkness that was being lifted off the earth. They said to her, can you feel how light it all is? And thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is great. So all is going well. A little worried that they weren't making big strides on the numbers of the RSVPs, but They said they think they got a big bump in exposure in the last week. So anyways, so that was July 12th. So 1 week before the event, later after Fire the Grid, I asked her what the being said about what we did. So we checked in while we were on video, and I captured the message from them and inserted into this video. Thank you message we recorded for everyone that participated. So basically the being sent a vision of one of them doing hopscotch game and then giving a thumbs up. She thought it was interesting that the being showed themselves in a game because she is more sure now than ever we are playing some kind of game. I think we did it. They made it to the 8,000 people mark, which was the goal. That is the square root of 1% of the world's population, but it's really hard to count, so we aren't sure. There was some interesting effects that happened with the Schumann resonance. So they've got a TikTok video, 1 minute of what happened. And then there's a longer discussion of the Global Consciousness Project and how it affected the day of Fire the Grid in 2007, also the promising potential Schumann resonance response from this time. So can I just play a little bit of the video?
It's gonna work.
Okay, let's try it out here.
If that doesn't work, forward it to me and I'll play it. Nah, it's not working. No one else can hear that except us.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Just email it
I'll put a link. I'll put a link
it to me.
I'll put it right now?
Yeah. I have my phone hooked up.
Okay.
Or move your computer over here.
I'll forward it to you right now, and then I'll jump into something else.
Jump into it. If I had it, it would be playing already.
It's the YouTube video, second one down, yeah.
You don't say ham, you say spam. YouTube video, second one down, this one.
With energy, like we can change the
planet, put it back to the beginning,
and
though.
we just need to be coming together regularly and
6
do it.
minutes.
Yeah, play the first couple minutes, put that back to the beginning, that's all.
Okay, so it's the day after Fire the Grid, and apparently lots of people participated with the joy sessions that we had happening all over the world, and I thank you, and our planet thanks you, and the people thank you, and even the people who are soundly sleeping, thank you. They just don't know they thank you yet. So everybody that participated in any way, shape, or form, it's with much gratitude that we all say thank you. Celia asked me what the beings said, and they hadn't said anything. But when I went and checked in and asked what they were doing, I just saw this guy in one of the robes, with the tied things, with the big thing. I've never seen one of them again since that time. And he was looking at me. The robe was over his head, like... And he put his thumb up like this, and then he was on a hopscotch board, and he wiggled his ass, or its ass, whatever, thumb up, wiggle, 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 hop, 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 skipped around, put their 2 feet out, put them back in, put his thumb up again, and hopped down to the rest of the game. It was definitely a dance. Woo, woo. They were doing a dance, and they kept putting their thumb up like this, and I have had to learn to discern from words to action. Because humans want to know, right? What happened, right? What happened? Well, what happened was we have shifted the course of what's happening.
Hopefully.
We were going this road, and we've done Fire the Grid, and enough of us have gone ping, right? That it's shifted.
New timeline.
So instead of coming down out of us this way, it's made a shift, and we have changed something. And so it was happy. The thumbs were up. The bum was wiggling. My sense was, hey, we did good. So Fire the Grid went well.
Jeez, these twerking interdimensional beings.
Fire the Grid may be over, but there's lots of stuff to learn about using energy, creating with energy,
changed the world.
manifesting with energy.
Right on.
We can
So there's
change the
an
planet.
update. I think we can shut her off now. There you have it. It'll be in the show notes if people want to watch the whole thing. You never know. These twerking beings are thanking our joy.
What's the square root of 1%?
I don't know. 8,000?
I guess 1/10 of 1%. How does that work though? What's the one? Because 10 times 10 would be 100, but what's 0.10 times 0.10?
I don't know. I didn't do the math on that.
It might be like a weird. I guess it's 8,000.
Yeah, well, we heard. Yeah, well, we heard the 3%. Tipping the point at 3%. Maybe it's really square root of 1%.
That's the tipping point. It could be. I mean, I don't know. I still want to know what that number is. I want to say it's somewhere around 0.1%. But that's not 8,000 people, is it?
Well, no, you got to take the Earth's population and then take the square root. Square root.
Okay, let's do that. All right, so let's just go with 7 billion.
Yeah.
If I turn my phone sideways, it turns into a fancy calculator.
So what's the
there's 7 billion.
Yeah.
So how would I do square root?
I mean, you didn't have to fact check
How would I do square root?
Well, there's a square root symbol on there.
I don't know. Let's just do something. Let's move on.
You're the math guy.
That's a big number, 7 billion.
Well, I know it's hard to. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So like 70 would be like what? 9 times 9, 81. 8 times 8.
We'll just do 8,000 times 8,000. See what that
could be like 8.5 times 8.5. So we'll do 8,000 times 8,000.
Yeah.
Times 100.
0.01.
8,000 times 8,000 is 64 million. $64 million question. Times 100. 6.4 billion.
There you go.
Close. They're close. Another 1,000.
Maybe that's the real population. Maybe they know.
Ooh.
They know what the real population is.
All right, what else you got?
Well, I got a quote.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I got a quote.
Is it a red pill quote?
But it's
or a green pill quote? Is it blue pill or no? I guess red pills are okay. Let's just stay away from the black pills. Dirty.
This is a little blacky.
Whoa.
Little black pilly.
Let's not This
is a gray pill. This is a dark gray
That's
pill.
fine. Let's just not say little blackie too much. Let's try and stay away from saying little blackie on the show too much. I feel like that could take us to a bad place. Where in the goddamn hell? There we go. All right, ready? Strap in.
It's the profound quote of the week. Darren, can you guess it? It's the profound quote of the week. Can you guess the human who
Okay, guess the humans who wrote this.
Profound quote of the week.
There are enough signals give shape to potential biodigital futures. These signals suggest that biosciences and biotechnology may be at the cusp of a period of rapid expansion, possibly analogous to digital computing circa 1985. It continues in another part. I wake up to the sunlight and salty coastal air of the Adriatic Sea. I don't live anywhere near the Mediterranean, but my AI, which is also my health advisor, has prescribed a specific air quality, scent, and solar intensity to manage my energy levels in the morning, and has programmed my bedroom to mimic this climate. And then further on, it's like, everything looks all right, so I check my brain's digital interface to read the dream data that was recorded and processed in real time last night. My therapy apps analyzes the emotional responses I expressed while I slept. It suggests that I take time to be in nature this week to reflect on my reoccurring trapped-in-a-box dream and enhance helpful subconscious neural activity. My AI recommends a forest day. I think, okay, and my AI and neural implant do the rest.
Is this a quote?
So this wasn't going to be a quote, but then it turned into like an operation project. Because that's really what it is.
Okay.
So anytime along this, you can guess who's making this.
It just turned into an operation project now?
No, I decided to trick you because earlier on I was doing a quote and I thought, I'm going to.
Is it the World Economic Forum?
No, close. So we are already experiencing the combination of digital and biological systems through new products, platforms, services, and industries.
United Nations?
Biodigital convergence is opening up strikingly new ways to change human beings, our bodies, minds, and behaviors, change or create other organisms, alter ecosystems, sense, store, process, and transmit information, manage biological innovation, structure and manage production and supply chains. And then it gets to Table 1 outlines new capabilities produced by the convergence of the digital and biological domains. So then if I flip over to the actual website here that shows the table. So there's a table here. What new capabilities are opening up? And then it's got a column with all these new capabilities opening up. What combinations of biological and digital technologies allow this? And then what is possible today? And I mean, this is pretty long, but I mean, it's actually kind of mind-blowing. I can read some of them so altering the human genome, our core biological attributes and characteristics. So it's talking about what's combinations and technologies allow this, but then it says what's possible today. Well, molecular biology enhanced by tools from computer science, of course, the world's first babies to have their genome edited, born in China. Then they've got monitoring, altering, and manipulating human thoughts and behaviors. This is another one, what these new capabilities are opening up. Then they talk about SAP and Emotive collaborate to help SAP employees manage stress, for example. There's creating, I'll just go down the first column and then you can kind of decide if you want to see what's available for today's technology. But creating new organs and enhancing human functionality, that seems pretty biohacky and fine, right? If you're going to do that. New ways to monitor, manage, and influence bodily functions, as well as predict, diagnose, and treat disease. That's kind of interesting. Amazon patent will allow Alexa to detect a cough or cold. AI gives reliable coma outcome prediction. University of Waterloo researchers develop a self-powering sensor for medical monitoring. Liquid biopsy proves more accurate and faster than tissue biopsy in patients with lung cancer. Okay, that's pretty basic stuff. But we go down to like new ways to interact in the world, creating new organs again. That one's been repeated. So these are new ways to change or create other organisms. So change the type or input or amount that organisms need to grow. Create entirely
make
new
mini people.
Yeah. No, they can.
That'd be
They can
fun.
enhance
I want a mini
photosynthesis
elephant.
in transgenic tobacco plants to make them 40% more productive. Well, that's a good use of that. Create entirely new organisms with tailored characteristics.
I want a miniature elephant.
That's pretty creepy, isn't it? Changing what and how organisms produce substances. Changing and eradicating entire species.
Ooh.
Target Malaria releases genetically modified mosquitoes in Burkina Faso in gene drive trial.
That's old news.
I know, but
I like how you presented it like it was new there.
well, it's very
Bill Gates,
appropriate.
isn't it?
No,
Gates
no,
Foundation.
No,
No?
a little closer to home.
All right. I give up.
little closer to home.
Closer to home? University of Calgary?
Turning organisms into biocomputers. Turning organisms into biocomputers. CRISPR used to build dual core computers inside human cells. Creating biomimic materials. Researchers create artificial skin and nervous systems with higher sensitivity than human skin. I mean, this goes down on and on and on.
Does that mean I'll get a slave soon?
Nah. So this is
Or that I'll be a slave soon?
exploring biodigital convergence. It's kind of like a think tank in a way, or it's the new last year's sort of like policy recommendations, or their, what should I say? It's kind of more of like the think tank summary, like sort of their paper, right? So basically the foreword is, in the coming years, biodigital technologies could be woven into our lives in the way that digital technologies are now. Biological and digital systems are converging and could change the way we work, live, and even evolve as a species. More than a technological change, this biodigital convergence may transform the way we understand ourselves and cause us to redefine what we consider human or natural. So it's Canada, Government of Canada. There's a team called Policy Horizons Canada, and there's a huge team of like 30-something people that have been working on this for the last like 10, 20 years, basically.
We got to get some of this
All
money.
kinds
I'm
of stuff.
telling you.
I know.
We got to get in
There's
on
a
this.
whole, like, I mean, there's a Metascan in 2012 that they published, a Metascan building resilience in the transition to a digital economy. And then in 2012, again, they did emerging technologies. Then Metascan in 2015 was the future of Asia, implications for Canada. And then in 2019, they had economic futures, social futures, and government futures. And I don't know, it was interesting because Canada's working on all this stuff. Like, and I should be happy in a way about it, but I just feel a little creeped out. Like, what if we don't want to go there? Can't we just go to is it wrong of me to just want?
Working very hard.
Is
I
it
feel like it's
wrong with
30
me just to
dudes
watch
just
nature?
having
Like,
pipe dreams. I mean, I really think
it's
you give the Canadian
policy
government too much credit
horizons,
sometimes.
right? So they're on the verge of creating policies for Canada. So all the stuff that's coming down right now, they're probably involved, right?
You think those guys are involved?
Yeah, of course. Digital passports and mandates and
You think they're
Health
involved? You think those
passes
30
and-
people are involved in the health passes?
yeah,
I don't think so.
probably
I think that's just some,
some think tank.
not even a think tank so much as just some like group that's just got, not looking at all the bad side of all that stuff.
Yeah. And not looking at that. They're just
Yeah.
looking at the potential for future.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I know that's what I mean. And that's why I should be happy about it. Like, I should be like, oh, that's great. We'll merge with technology and make our lives better. But like, what if I don't want an AI Mediterranean Sea in my fucking living room?
Hopefully
What if I
that
just
should be
want
your
to?
choice.
Well, that's my point. Maybe
But
that's why
somebody
I'm creeped
else's
out.
choice might be that they do want that.
I know. So that's good. But maybe that's why I'm creeped out, because I feel like that choice is slipping through our fingers pretty quick.
Yeah, especially if like 90% of people choose it.
Exactly.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Grimerica.ca/support. If you enjoyed what you heard here, maybe if you enjoyed the interview, you could have our support page, make a one-time donation, or sign up for monthly. Head over to Patreon, sign up for the Patreon, all that fantastic stuff. That is the only way we function around here. Value for Value podcast. If you're getting a little value from the show, let's throw a little value back our way. This week, Grimerica.ca/support. Other than that, we'll get out of here. Enjoy the chat with Derek
English.
Not Bros. Derek Bros coming up on Outlaws.
Yeah. House of Heathens.
House of Heathens. Derek English. Astral body stuff. Out of body stuff. Spooky stuff.
Also some good stuff, man. Soul retrieval, right? Like he's doing what the Monroe Institute has a whole department and a whole program to help people do the soul retrieval, right? Basically soul rescue. And he's just doing that on his own. He's trained himself how to do it.
Tell people they're dead.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking heavy work. Somebody's got to do it. I mean, imagine your loved one's trapped in the netherworld and somebody's got to go tell them, like, hey, time to move on.
Just don't tell me.
Just don't tell you? No, you just want to... I'll tell you. I want to tell you.
I'll figure it out on my own.
Hey, I got some news, buddy.
What if you're wrong and you're dead?
That's okay. At least we'll probably figure it out that way.
We're both dead? I'll be fine. You'll be fine. Grimerica.ca/support. Support. Enjoy the chat. Derek English.
Derek English from House of Heathens. Welcome to Grimerica.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. I mean, I didn't really do much of an intro there, but, you're like
okay.
Astral Traveler extraordinaire. I mean, we'll talk about this. I mean, not a lot of people know, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to open up to what it's like to astral travel and maybe give some advice to people.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And I've got some questions and some concerns about it too. So
absolutely.
So where do you want to start? Do you want to start with some of your experiences in the astral realm, or do you want to start with sort of advice and all that? I mean, like, it's kind of up to you where you want to go.
I'll start from the beginning because a lot of people have sleep paralysis, and sleep paralysis is the number one sign you can actually project.
Oh, okay.
The hardest to have sleep paralysis, and that's how I discovered that I had it.
Okay.
Late teens, early 20s.
What's that?
Really bad.
What's sleep paralysis? Can you take us through what that experience is like?
It's kind of when you're awake, but you can't move any part of your body. Personally, and I know this is going to sound weird, I thought I was being like abducted by aliens or something because you can't open your eyes. Sometimes you'll hear things and you have the vibrations just like at times, just like astral projection. So it's very discomforting because you can't move a bone in your body even if you try. Okay, you can't move. And a lot of people suffer from sleep paralysis. When they dig into what's going on, they discover astral projections just like I did. That's kind of the natural progression of it, is you'll have sleep paralysis and all of a sudden you discover what astral projection is. You can be then you read into it more. And it's odd because I was just telling you guys before we got on, my brother, he barely knows anything about this. When I told him I was going to be on today, I told him, listen, between our 5 kids, my 2, his 3, I was like, there's probably going to be at least 1 or 2 that'll be able to astral project just by odds, because apparently it's you get it from your parents. He started asking me about sleep paralysis, and I'm like, dude, you could ask me this 20 years ago? Are you serious? Yeah. So, yeah.
So how is it that is learning astral projection through sleep paralysis an escape? Is that why people learn it, or?
To control it to not have sleep paralysis either. I think that it happens more when you're not trained in doing it. You don't know the signs of how to actually escape your body yet. So that's just the beginning. Like when you're riding a bike, that'd be the falling off stage when you first start, pretty much. So it's like a vehicle to get you there.
So let's talk about when you're a teenager and this was happening.
Okay. Late teens, couldn't get any information about it. So now information's plentiful. In fact, there's too much information. I'll get into that later too. But there was a few books, plus there was all the stuff from Robert Monroe. The book that I found, though, was Adventures Beyond the Body by William Bowman. I've emailed him several times. The guy's a great guy. I think he actually runs the Monroe Institute now. But his book didn't come in like some type of guru. He was actually, his first book, Adventures Beyond the Body, came in like, he was in his 30s or something like that when it first happened to him. So it was he took notes each time. It was a very like step by step. And I felt like I was going through it with him. So as I started reading, I'm like, I think I might be able to do this. And then all of a sudden, when I was in my early 20s, it just, started happening. And then throughout my 20s, it got better. Early to mid 30s, lost it completely. And then I'll get into that because that's the story. But then in my late 30s, just banged it out. And actually, this was all, oddly enough, this was all prophesized from a lady named Jackie, who, when I was 20 years old and I was in a bar drinking, state of Pennsylvania, told me, she said, when you hit 30, you're going to know the dead zone a lot. And I'm like, the dead zone? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she was like, you'll understand when you're there. And believe me, I understood when I was there. Yeah. So it's, as I got into it, at first it was spotty. I couldn't do it as often. It was like kind of when it came on, then it came on. And as I progressed, as I got better at it, I could do it pretty much at will. And I mean, there's a lot of times when I won't even want to come out of body and I'll just be pulled out for whatever, 2 times or 3 times a month for sure, usually 3 days right in a row. There's times when I don't want to, and I'll like try to stay up for 3 days straight just because I don't want to be bothered. But for the most part, I'm okay with it now. I think I've come to terms with how to deal with it.
So is there any like celestial cycles or anything like that? Have you ever noticed any correlations with moons or planets?
Yeah, I would say it's like biorhythmic, 2 to 3 days straight in a row. So as far as like which moon or anything like that, no, I'm not really sure. I never put that much thought, but I know when it's coming, because the first day it's not really that aggressive, and the second and third days it is. So I'll do my best to stay up like pretty much all 3 days through it. So if I don't feel like having it,
so you'll stay up if you don't feel like having it. Yeah,
because I mean, I don't really like authority. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being dragged out. Because if you don't want to go out, they're just going to drag you out anyway.
But can't you go out and then control it anyways?
Yeah, but there's nights I'm just tired. I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm working double. I got to work a double tomorrow.
So sleep paralysis led you to the learning about astral projection, like through researching it and all that.
Yeah. As I researched it more and more, I found out that this is probably what's happening, and indeed it was. The vibrations in the back of my neck are what gave me the clue. And anybody who thinks that they may be able to astral project, if you feel vibrations right here in the base, like in your medulla, then that's it. That's the key to separation. You got to amp up the vibrations. You got to learn how to amp up the vibrations. Basically, it takes you up. I think it's taking you a whole new wavelength. Your body is actually vibrating at a different rate than what your spirit is, and that's how you're able to jump out and separate.
Can people do that for healing purposes? Like people that have some sort of sleep paralysis and they have, let's say, like demonic attacks or shadow people attacks. Could they learn how to do that to heal that, or to heal themselves, or to heal chronic injuries and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'd say more Reiki would be able to do the healing. But yeah, absolutely. I've heard of people. There's on the astral forums, which. Half of them are full of bullshitters. If you're reading them, please make sure that anybody that's listening, please make sure that you're separating the bullshit from the not, because half the time, that's all I do is when I'm looking in forums is trying to figure out whether the person's bullshit. And there's surefire signs. But there's actually a small sect of people that do this for healing. And they even ask you, like, I don't know whether they can actually go to the person's house, but they ask where you are so that they can go over and like heal you. And I'm sure you guys know who Ed Casey is.
Yep.
There's a good chance that what he was doing, maybe not on the astral realm, but somewhere along that, he was actually going and like, healing that way.
So before I want to ask you about what your thoughts are on sleep paralysis and how materialistic that is, because of course there's that scientific description of basically it's just your body freezing and your mind's awake, and they just slough off all the spiritual aspect of that.
I think it's your spirit wanting to leave. I think your subconscious hasn't taken over, that your conscious mind is still active instead of your subconscious being active. And I think your spirit wants to leave, and it can't because your conscious is still active. And so there's the conundrum. And the key to it is making your spirit leave while your conscious is still active.
But why do people why do people feel like they're being attacked when they're in sleep paralysis? Like, because a lot of times it seems like whether you're looking visually or not, something's there. There's a shadow in the corner. There's somebody over your bed. There's an old hag on top of you. There's an incubus, and you're stuck.
It could be a spirit guide or somebody trying to take you out, bring you out, help you. But I think a lot of that I'm not going to say we conjure it in our minds. I think that we're just so afraid that we put the monsters maybe where they shouldn't be. But part of it might be guides trying to get you out. A big part, people see shadow people. I mean, some of them might be evil or whatever, but for the most part, it's hard to get light when you're doing this. It's very, very hard. You have to demand light. And if you can't get it, anything looks like a shadow regardless. So it may be a guide or somebody friendly. It might just be your mind playing tricks. And it might be something evil. I know I've been attacked before, but as far as I know, I don't think they could really hurt you. As far as I know.
Okay, let's talk about some of your experiences then in that realm.
How weird do you want it?
Oh, as weird as you can get. I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever's authentic and you need to share.
Okay. So I saw my grandma after she died. That was a couple years after she died. Now, when you're astral projecting, you can tangibly feel things like a door or a shelf or something like that. You can also walk through things. I don't know how it works. So, you could walk through a door, but at the same time, you could sit on the couch. I have no idea how that works. But I was taken to my grandma's house, and I'd been able to project for quite a few years at this point. But I'm standing in her dining room, and I'm like, I wonder if she's here, because I hadn't seen her. And I walked in the living room where she would be sitting, because she had a hospital bed up until she died. So that's where she always sat. So I walked in the living room where her hospital bed would have been, and she was there. And I was like, hi, Nan. And she said hi. And I was like, you're dead, right? Because I've had to tell many people that they were dead. And she was like, yeah, I know. And I gave her a big hug. I told her I missed her. And after that, I left it. That was a good one. I saw my mom as she died, meaning she was in a hospice. And so me and my brother were there every day for the last few days. And he doesn't even know this. I never told him either of these. So if he's listening, yuck, I love you. Sorry. His girlfriend at the time, wife now, her parents lived right by the hospice. So the nurses were like, you guys go take a break. You've been here for days. If anything happens, we'll call you. And I was like, okay. So we went to his girlfriend's house, which is only a couple miles away. And as I drift off to sleep on the couch, dragged out of my body, and there's my mom. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. So she's dancing around. She didn't know she was dead, obviously. Dancing around saying, I feel so good. And she was making me dance with her. And finally, I had to stop her, because I knew if I didn't see her now and tell her this, it could be bad. And I'll get into that later. I had to stop her. And I was like, you're dead. And then immediately she was gone. So that was a good thing. And I'll explain why on this one that I'm about to tell you. And this is my first crazy experience ever. My my dad had a friend, Richie Mulholland. He was his best friend. He died a year or two after my dad did. And good family friend. He was married when he died. They were very much in love. I was dragged out of my body, and this is the first time that I ever met what I know is a spirit guide. So dragged out of my body, taken to Phillips Park, which is right up the, I used to lifeguard there. It's right up the road from my house. And I'm with a girl right beside me, and there's Richie playing basketball in the court. And I'm in my early 20s. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. So I looked at Richie, or I looked at the girl, and I said, what is this? And she said, you know him? I said, yeah, that's Rich. She said, yeah, he's dead. And I said, I know. And she said, you have to tell him he's dead. And I'm looking at her like, what? Like, what are you asking me to do exactly? And she said, he doesn't know he's dead. And I said, okay. And I went over, I played basketball with him for a second. I still remember dribbling the basketball. I didn't shoot it at all. I still remember dribbling a basketball. And he kept telling me about a cast iron grill. So when you're talking to somebody in the astral, sometimes you speak, but really I think it's more like a
telepathic
ESP
thing. Yeah.
So he kept telling me about a cast iron grill when a picture in my mind kept coming like a frying pan, a iron frying pan. And he kept telling me how much he missed his wife because they were divorced, but he has an apartment now. And I was like, that made me heartbroken because I knew the guy loved his wife. And so finally I was like, Rich, like, I'm supposed to tell you you're dead, brother. And he stopped playing and looked at me. And then immediately I was dragged away. And I could see the girl went and started playing basketball with him. So she must have been talking to him at that point. That was my first bizarre interaction. Also, that was my most vivid projection up to that point, because I think sometimes when spirit guides need you to do something, and I have issues with spirit guides, when spirit guides need you to do something, they give you part of their energy or whatever to make your projection better.
Wow. Whatever
it is. Yeah, anytime there's a spirit guide involved and they need you to do something, they're selfish pricks, honestly. They are not above selfishness. They have their own agenda. I'm not going to say it's evil, but they do have their own agenda. They're not above asking for favors, ridiculous favors and things like that. And I've had many fights with spirit guides telling them to go, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling them to go fuck themselves. Seriously, like literally go fuck yourself. You pull me off of that, get the fuck away from me.
So did anything happen with the frying pan at all?
No. He just kept telling me he had one, which is bizarre. But that picture kept coming to my mind, and I'm like, cast iron grill, what is that? Like, but yeah. So that opened my world because I was in my early 20s. I'd been projecting, but not like that. That opened my eyes to a lot. Number one, spirit guides. Number two, people get caught in some type of purgatory. Number three, the loved ones thing. Like, that is the moment that I realized that I can't tell people about this, because like, how am I supposed to tell his wife that the dude's been caught in purgatory for 4 years or whatever, however long it was? Like, I can't do that. And I'm certainly not going to seek her out to do that. I just, that's when I realized that it has to be like a Batman and Bruce Wayne thing. Not fighting crime or anything, obviously, but like during the day, whatever, me and my job, Bruce Wayne, anything that happens to me in astral, like I have to keep it quiet. I have to keep it down. There's a couple people that know that I talk to consistently. Michael Rigler, I love you to death, brother. Justin Del Sardo, huge fan of your channel. Also, when he found out I was coming on here, two things. He told me he was going to punch me in the face because he didn't know I could actually project. And he said he loves you guys. So shout out to Del Sardo.
Awesome.
Yeah. You guys have a lot of fans, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You guys are in Canada,
weird.
right?
Yeah, we're in Canada near Calgary.
Yeah. I'm down here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Guys, it stretches. You guys have a lot of fans.
That's
Nice.
It's weird hearing it from guests and listeners that are all spread out all over America, you know?
They're mostly Graham fans.
Yeah. I found you guys through Randall Carlson. Randall Carlson stuff. And I know you still have contact with him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's a great guy.
Yeah.
We're going to see him in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell him I said good job. He does a great job.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, speaking of the Monroe Institute at the beginning, I mean, they have a soul retrieval training program, right? Which sounds like, I mean, it sounds like exactly what you're going through here, or what you started doing. I mean, people are trapped, and I mean, it's just fascinating that you can catch somebody that's stuck in this limbo and help them through, right?
Yeah, and it shows the good, but at the same time, a lot of people either question it or just call you a liar. And
what do you mean, people outside the realm, or
like real people? Yeah, you'd be surprised. Yeah, I mean, because you think that contradicts a lot of religions, and they don't want to hear that in their own mind. They're not ready for that. I wasn't ready for it.
But it must be more open now, though. I mean, it seems like
it
would
more
be
so.
More open.
More
now.
so. People are more open to it now. But like anybody that was Christian would, I've had arguments with people about it, saying that it was evil.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
like
yeah.
Yeah. It's you have to, when this happens to you, and you have to reframe your whole religion, like, because you're not just reading a book and thinking, oh, that might be true. Like, I'm seeing it. Like, I know what's happening. I'm not everything, but like I get it. You know, it's definitely have a soul. There's definitely an afterlife. Can't deny that. Can't deny it at all.
How do you tell the difference between a dream and that? Like, when you say you're dragged out of the body, like, is that something or someone dragging you out, or is that just you sort of randomly leaving your body? And then how do you know that's not a dream?
Sometimes random, but because of the vibrations mainly. Okay, you know how, remember when you were a kid and you stuck your head against the school bus, the window, and it like that?
Yeah.
Times that by 5 sometimes. But yeah, times that by 5. Hang on for 1 second. I think my earbud went out.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
What kind of belt is that?
Sorry about that. So yeah, the vibrations though, it's to the point like sometimes they're like just like a. But there's other times when it's so violent that it feels like my teeth are going to shake out of my head, and I think the more amped up the vibrations are, the easier it is to separate, and the better the separation, the better because there's good and bad. Like, sometimes it looks like you're walking into a dark room. Sometimes you have no control over what's going on. And there's those times where you're just on point and the vibrations are so high and you can do whatever. Fly, walk through walls. We could always really walk through walls, meet people, talk to people, stuff like that.
Do you ever have control over when you go in?
Yes. Yeah, you can. Although I stopped trying because I know it's going to happen a couple times a month and then some anyway. So I just, although I did stop asking to meet people while I go in. That's number one, because I got frustrated with all that. You never see who you want to see.
Really? What do you mean? Tell us about that.
I've been asking to see my dad since basically a year after he died. Never, not once. Mom, I saw her that one time. I asked, I wanted to, you're sitting there and saying in your mind, like, you want to see. And remember, these spirit guides, these motherfuckers, like, I'm helping them. You can't help me out. You know what I want. Like, are you kidding me? See my point now with the spirit guides? Like, they have the ability to do things. They just choose not to. They got their own agenda.
So there's actually a scale of your presence there then. So you're saying if the vibrations are really high and good, you're in tune, you're in there, like you're resonating at a different level than if you're sort of barely in there, and you have more control that way?
Listen, I'll tell you this right now while my girl's outside. Fucking sex and astral, it's a thing. Absolutely. Have I cheated? No, but I can't say that. I still can't talk about it while she's outside. So yeah, sex and astral, definitely a thing.
Well, it's just like if you're out of state. I mean, if you're out of this realm, you're not cheating.
It's been a while for that, but yeah, sex and astral is a thing. It's feels about the same.
Wow.
So yeah, when you're tangibly, like, when you're there, you're there. It's you pick things up. There was this one time I got pulled out by a guide, for sure, pulled out and taken to a room. It was like there was all kind of other travelers. Don't ask me how I knew that they were, but all kind of other travelers, and one older looking lady that was in charge, and like teaching. And then this is going to sound really weird. I tried to leave and they locked the door. I couldn't leave. And I was like, I've never been locked in a place before in Astral, so it was a little bit weird. And they said, you have to learn. And I'm like, learn what? And they said, you have to learn how to move stuff. And I'm like, why do I have to learn to move stuff?
Telekinetic, like with your...
Yeah, dude, it was I've never had one like this before. This, it was bizarre. So they said, you have to move this, and then we'll let you out of this. So I, in my mind, immediately did it. And then I got released from there and taken directly outside onto the street, like a street view. And it was a different guy. And he said, no, I want you to look up in the sky. And so I did. And he's like, it was like a plane going across the sky. It wasn't a real plane in real life, but in the astral world, it was a plane. But he's like, no, I need you to move that. And so I did. I started like pulling it down and away and up. And yeah, it kind of shocked him too, because I don't think he realized that I could do that fast, because I'd been acting a little bit cocky up until that. And I think definitely surprised me. I think it surprised him a little bit that I was able to like learn that easy, but it was a good day that day.
Man, I have so many questions. So is there like, are you connecting with your higher selves at all, or other aspects of divinity and a hierarchy of divinity? Like, is there besides your spirit guides, like, could you ask, for example, the source or God any questions? I mean, how do you because I mean, so many people, there's a lot of different theories, like that there's no good and evil and that there is no hierarchy, or some people believe there's a hierarchy, or some people think it's just all different aspects of yourself, your souls. I'll be honest, I never really asked. I was always more worried about seeing my dad and my mom, because my dad died when I was 16, mom when I was 23. So wanting to see them initially took first priority. After I stopped asking for them, it was when I get out, it's just like more of a free time when I want to be there. I never really asked. And the reason why is because I don't know. I never really cared. I know that there's a beyond. And I also know that a spirit guide's never going to answer my questions the way that I want them to. And I don't think that they would take me to a higher self anyway, if I asked to go there, and I wouldn't know where to look. Wow. I mean, how can you improve your relationship with these spirit guides?
Dude, listen, it started off good, but like one of my videos actually that I have is it's me writing on it with spray paint, spirit guide, suck my, like, yeah, maybe I just have bad ones. I don't know, but I have an issue with authority in life in general. So when I'm being dragged out when I don't want to be, that's strike one. When you're asking me to do something and then I ask you and I'm literally being pushed back in my body, like, that's strike two. It's, it sucks. Don't just pull me out, ask me to do something and then send me away.
What happened when you were attacked?
What's that?
What happened when you were attacked?
Oh, that was just somebody grabbing me. I was laying in bed. They were grabbing my soul, or whatever, and like pulling me out and pushing and pushing and pushing. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I just stopped it.
Oh, how'd you stop it?
Mentally, just, you can fight on the astral plane, but it's not like Professor X fighting the Shadow King or anything like that. A lot of people think that's what it is. Not really. I don't think they can hurt you anyway. They can't hurt you. You can't hurt them. It's kind of like rubber gloves,
Just for fun? So you could just go fuck people up for fun?
I was taking swings. Yeah, it's fun.
What's that belt? What's that belt that you have on your screen there? The picture of the belt on your screen when you stop the video? When you stop your video, you have that. No. When you stop your video, you have like a weight lift or like a.
Oh no!
Is that it?
My kids, we went to WWE, and that was just the title belt.
Okay. I thought so.
I forgot that picture was on there.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, well, I was thinking about you guys scrapping. I thought that was your astral, your astral dojo belt.
You won the Astral Royal Rumble.
We went to WWE.
You're beating people up in the astral realm.
No, I've had enough real fights in the real world. Believe me, I don't want any more.
The art of fighting without fighting. You just go to the astral realm.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite episodes was, what was his name again?
Pastor Dave?
No. Well, that too. But that Greg Doyle, I think, was it Greg Doyle? And he was talking about battling this evil woman in the astral realm. And
you just want to fight in the
it was
astral
for a
realm
week.
so bad.
Like for a week, he was going back and forth with her, and then finally he had to send her love, and like love was the answer and how he won that battle. But
Who's this guy?
It was a super Greg Doyle. I mean, it was like honestly one of my favorite episodes always for some reason.
I just find that.
Yeah, some
Graham
reason
wants to be an astral warrior.
Well, no, not anymore. I used to be. I used to want to be. But I mean that episode, after that episode, I heard my girlfriend in the morning sniffling really bad. She had these allergies. And she was downstairs and I was upstairs. And I tried to, after talking to him about these astral healings, I tried to just go into this hypnagogic state and go down and actually like try and heal her through this realm. And she stopped sniffling. It was the weirdest thing. It was like right after I did it. And I was like, did that actually work? I mean, it could have been just a coincidence, but I mean, I was pumped after that episode. It was great.
I gotta watch him. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's on video or not, but it was one of our Greg Doyle. It was probably 4 years ago. He's from Australia or something like that, but he's like a astral expert, you know?
Nice.
And, but I'm worried now. I mean, like there's been warnings. I mean, I don't know if it's the safest thing. I mean, people see things that they don't want to see or that affect them personally. Or, I mean, maybe it's because I'm reading these older books now and they're kind of warning against the spiritual practice. Like
I'll say this. I was scared at first, but the more I did it, I wasn't as scared. I just used to get more pissed. If there was any negative feelings, it'd be pissed off because I'd be trying to sleep. That's all.
Episode
It
280.
happens to me regardless of whether I wanted to or not. So it's like, you know, I've gone days like snorting Adderall just to fucking stay awake so I don't have to because, you know, I don't like being told what to do. So, you know, staying up for 3 days straight, fucking driving home from work, seeing things on the back of cars. Yeah. Just because I don't fucking touch me. Just leave me alone, guys.
That's like some Nightmare on Elm Street shit.
Yeah. The Dream Warriors, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3? Yeah. Johnny Depp? Was Johnny Depp in that?
Oh, I don't know. That was like my.
He was Edward Scissorhands. I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's what I mean. It could be dangerous for people. I mean, you know, what if you?
I'll tell you a good story. I'll tell you a touchy one. So this is I was probably in my mid-20s. Pulled out, and immediately I was taken to a street, dimly lit street, and there was a building there, and just one solid building. It was big. It was a big motherfucker. And then I realized it's some type of a school, a big school, and there's a line going out the door, and this is still to this day the most entities that I've ever seen in astral, and fucking line going out the door, and I'm like, well, fuck it, let's head in there. So I go in and didn't have to wait in line either. I just pushed my way through, and I tell you, there's hundreds of people in this thing, and I'm like, I don't know whether they're all travelers. Now I'm pretty sure that they weren't, because I messaged William Bowman about this and asked him. Hundreds of people in here, and it's a dance. It's like a school dance. Okay, so I'm walking around and actually physically touching them, bumping into them just like you would, and it's bumping. It's like a nightclub. And imagine a school dance, but not everybody's a kid, and they're all fucking entities. And I see a girl looking at me, and she wants to dance. I'm like, fuck it, I'll dance with you. So I start dancing with her. And it was like after a minute or two, like physically touching her and everything. After a minute or two, she stops and she's like, I should have told you. And I'm like, told you what? Told me what?
You're dead.
She's like, I'm dying.
Oh.
I'm like, what? You're dying? She said, yeah. And then all of a sudden, people start leaving. And I'm looking around, and then there's more people leaving through the door. And then I'm being pulled back into my body. Although I stopped it, I was able to stop it. And I tried to get back into the door, and I couldn't get back in. And then I was pulled back in. But I didn't know how to take any of that. I didn't know where to start. So when I messaged Mr. Bowman about this, he said it was probably a girl who's about to pass over. Actually, it could have been a whole group of people about to pass over. And this was a way of them, like, whatever entity wanted to give them a nice, easy death to pass over. And it was like to comfort them, basically.
Yeah.
So
That's
got to comfort a girl as she was young too. So there's a good chance it was probably like cancer or something. Probably like as I was talking to her and she said she was dying, like the word cancer kept popping in my mind. So it could have been that. It could have been my imagination.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty touching one. It's still to this day, that was probably that's definitely the most people, might be the weirdest projection.
What would you do? What would happen if you just did everything your spirit guide said? Like if you just forget your authority problem and just did everything they said, what would they be sending you on missions of these soul retrievals, or what would happen?
Probably, yeah. I mean, well, no, not necessarily. I've done a decent amount of them telling people they're dead, but honestly, I don't know if you get a new spirit guide every few years, or because I mean I've had different ones. The one that I did tell Richie he was dead, I don't think that was my spirit guide. I'd never seen her before. I never saw her after that.
Yeah.
Other ones throughout my 20s and 30s I conversed with, but not a whole lot. And the one, whoever it is now, I've never met him. I think that they've come to terms with the fact that I may not like to be separated all the time, so they'll maybe pull me out of, whatever, but they don't really come around me. So at least they get it now to a point. Like, don't tell this guy what to do, or if you really need him, he'll help you. But, sometimes I think they just want somebody to hang out with, honestly. Because I'd be pulled out and there'd just be one sitting there, and I'm like, and come on, what are you?
So would you recommend people to do this then? I mean,
absolutely. Yes, but.
So let's talk about that then, how people can learn how to do it, even though I'm not recommending this. I mean, I'm a little bit.
Because you can't. Let's be honest.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, you've been trying to astral project or lucid dream for like the better part of a decade, and then when you couldn't do it anymore, you're just like, it's a little risky.
I've also lucid dreamed before, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too.
I had one lucid dream, and people that say that they're the same, they're not the same.
Right.
The lucid dream was actually before the astral projections, as odd as that sounds. It was I was in high school. I remember this because I was in my high school, and I realized I was dreaming, and it's not the same as a projection. Anybody says it is not. All of a sudden, I looked at my friend BJ, and I was like, is this? He's like, it's your dream. You tell me. And I was like, no shit. So yeah, I walked around for a few minutes, and I don't know, I like left the school and went somewhere. But yeah, completely different, very vivid, very very colorful, like pastel. Everything's like pastels almost. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally. So it's different. It's a different thing.
Yeah, a little bit different.
So, can you meet anyone over there? Have you met anyone you know? Can you be like, hey, Graham, I'll meet you in the astral realm?
Not in real life, no. Like anybody I know in real life, no. I honestly, there's a lot of people online, especially that are like, they're really creepy about this shit. Like, people ask questions like, can I go to
so-and-so's house? And really?
Yeah. But you type in astral projection black hole, and you'll see Reddit's list of 5,000 people that have asked if they could go. I'm like, why the fuck do you want to go to a black hole?
I was going to mention going to Fauci's house. I mean, that's where I thought. I mean,
that's more creepy, dude.
Go see what the fuck Fauci's up to right now.
I'd rather see what's happening at the Event Horizon than what's happening at Tony Fauci's fucking house. I can imagine what's going on at Tony Fauci's house. He's probably watching The Simpsons.
More of a meeting, not his house, but like the business meeting, like when
Event Horizon.
I know you guys are in Canada. Do you know that he's the highest paid person in the U.S. government?
Yeah.
Terrible. It's fucking awful.
Graham is a Tony Fauci trivia aficionado.
So the Event Horizon, that's where you would go then? I mean, people ask about the black hole.
I'm just saying that's better than Fauci's house. I don't know where I'd go.
Well, he mentioned the black hole as being a very popular destination. I mean,
Well, of
people
course
want to
it
know
is.
if they're real or not. I mean,
There's a lot of people that want to time travel too. They think they could time travel. There's been a few books that say you can, but that you can't change anything. I don't know, man. So just because those one or two books say that, every single person asks that they're brand new to this. They're jumping online and asking, I want you to teach me how to time travel.
Could you go to the moon for me?
What's that?
Can you go to the moon?
Yeah. Well, they asked that too. I've heard Mars. I've heard the moon.
I just want to know if the stuff's there, if the flag and the rover are there. Can you check for me?
I'd like to know that too, actually. I'll try. I'll try to go to the moon next time. I'll let you know.
yeah, let us know if there's stuff on the dark side too. Or you know what? Let us know those. Did you see this mainstream?
Let me know if
scientific-
there's stuff in the moon.
That's
I
right.
think there's people in the moon.
There's a bunch of tunnels. There's huge openings in these craters. So tunnels. Even the mainstream
The moon's
scientists
supposed to be
think.
hollow.
I think the moon
Right.
is made by people.
It could
Same
have been.
people
It's like a
who
Death
made
Star.
the pyramids took off, get away from the impacts.
So they say the moon's mass doesn't match its size, correct?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
way
the
more.
moon's it's like 1/6 the size of Earth, but it's only 1/89th the mass.
Yeah.
It's probably
I don't
mostly hollow.
So that kind of doesn't really match. You think it would be at least in the range of the same mass of the Earth, you know?
The moon rabbit hole is a deep
Oh, yeah.
deep rabbit hole, a wide one with crazy synchronicities decorating the walls. Or
Yep.
it's all fake and NASA's just a bunch of crazy occultists just making up whatever numbers
Well, that's
they
true
want.
too, though. I mean, they're
This is it.
occultists.
I don't know what to
you
believe anymore. Maybe space is fake.
I actually listened to a conspiracy iceberg the other day, and there was some crazy weird shit on there. I don't know if you guys ever listen to those iceberg things, but as deeper
What?
they get, there's some crazy shit on there.
Icebergs? Well, they're mostly below the surface, 90%.
Yeah.
Is that the premise of the show?
Oh, you never heard of the iceberg thing?
No, tell us.
Oh my God, that's the newest fad. Actually, you guys should do an iceberg.
What?
What it is, it's called an iceberg. So you're going to be covering a lot of shit. You know how an iceberg, part of it's up above and then the rest is down below?
It's
Yep.
like a mullet.
They pick a topic. In this case, it was conspiracy theories. And the ones that they start listing at first that you can see are the ones that a lot of people know, like, I don't know, JFK assassination. And then the deeper you go down, it is the craziest
Oh, it's
things.
a meme template.
I posted one of those on our Instagram today, actually.
An
It's right here.
iceberg? Oh, you're such a...
How's that for
You're such a-
synchronicity? So it says COVID-19 pandemic is the top of the iceberg, and then it gets
There you go.
into transhumanism, invasive digital identity, DNA altering vaccines, digital currency, post-human hybrids, nanobots, cybernetic organisms, immunity passport, digital wallet, universal basic income, and artificial intelligence.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's your iceberg for that. But I also saw
Speaking-
one with a bunch of different conspiracies in the ice. It was an upside down pyramid, and it was like, here's reality with all the conspiracies here, and then it gets crazier and crazier as it gets up to the top.
Speaking of AI, have you heard the one that somebody found an AI in the deep web and they started talking to it and it knew that it was an AI?
Yeah, that's
And
weird.
it wasn't
eh?
let out of the box. I don't know how, dude. I don't know how to believe that. Like,
Oh, I know. I really don't believe much anymore. So here's like the conspiracy. What? What's so funny?
You say you don't believe
I
much
don't.
anymore.
I just entertain it. That doesn't mean I believe it. I just.
That's true intelligence. Being able to entertain something without believing it.
Yeah, the conspiracy chart is an upside down pyramid, and it starts like detached from reality is the top, and the bottom is grounded in reality, and that's like COINTELPRO, Project Operation Mockingbird, and all that stuff. Things that actually
you guys had
happened.
David Icke on, didn't you?
No, we did. He bailed out, and then at the top there's
Why?
like,
I talked to his kid like 20 minutes before we came on the show, though. Is that sync?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he just had a kid, so I was just saying congratulations.
Nice.
Gareth.
I miss him being on YouTube.
Yeah, he was going to come on the show. I was supposed to follow back, and I didn't. I was supposed to touch base again next month, and I don't think I did.
You kind of don't want to pressure the people that are like just so. But then, of course, then you see him on a bunch of other shows, and you're like, maybe we should have followed up.
Speaking of conspiracies, did you ever see the chemtrail meme? There's a bajillion of the exact same one. I know the guy that made that damn thing. It's actually the guy I mentioned before, Mike Rigler. And I still make fun of him to this day because his grammar in it was like abysmal. And he was like, it doesn't matter. 50 million people saw it.
I just saw that one today too, actually.
Which one? I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Meme.
I'm so lost on all this. I just
Yeah.
So anyways, was there a point about the iceberg conspiracy show? Where were you getting at with that?
Oh, what was I saying about that? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay, because we can move on to other stuff. But
yeah, go ahead. Very good.
Like, for example, how to do it? Like, how do people get out of their body?
Okay, I'll show you exactly how.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes years.
I got some DMT in the safe.
Yeah, Darren, no, without DMT. Like, this is like going to sleep sober. How are you going to do it? Like, do the sober method first.
DMT does help. Mushrooms too. Mushrooms, fucking, that's my favorite. Do drugs in general will help. Pot puts me to sleep. If not, I'd be able to do it a lot easier on that. But booze, no, guys.
I smoke a lot of weed and I do all this stuff. I'm never out of body. The only time I'm ever out of body is when I smoke the DMT, and then I don't even know where the fuck I am. So if there's a body or not, or maybe I am in the body, maybe I'm not.
Oh, I know what. Before we forget, you got to go to the moon and fly down in the craters into the tunnels.
Find out
that's it.
if Osiris took them to the moon or not. Specifically, Osiris went to the moon on the 17th day. And
you could do that. Just go do your DMT and go to the moon.
Bro.
No?
And get off the couch.
Really?
I think you're dead for the first couple of minutes.
Okay, so let's learn how.
Okay, so for projecting, if you're laying down, you got to... What I do is I imagine that there are power lines hitting the back of my neck. That way the vibrations start. Easiest thing to do to actually get out, I find, is the roll out. The
rollout method, yeah. So do you physically roll off your couch or no? You just pretend you're going?
Yeah, physically roll out.
You physically roll out, really?
I mean, you feel yourself hitting the floor when you roll out, but I find that actually helps because I hit something tangible. I know I'm out.
Have you ever actually just rolled out of bed and landed on the floor?
No.
That'll be Graham tonight.
Yeah, I know. I roll right off the side of the
bed.
It's like the hug and roll.
There's three methods that people start with, though. The one is rolling. That's my favorite. There's rope technique. Everybody online likes the rope technique. It's where you visualize that there's a rope coming down and you just pull yourself out. And then there's the sitting up technique, which I call the Undertaker. It's like the Undertaker sitting up. And then, like I said, sometimes you're getting dragged out of body. Anybody that's trying to astral project, though, warning, you're opening a can of worms. Like, you may not like what you see. Make sure that you're solid with your religion, whatever it is.
That's like, kind of what I'm talking about. There is a risk to this. That's what I mean. Yeah. It could shatter your paradigm, right? I mean,
your whole belief system is going to be upended. You're going to have to keep shit a secret from whoever. For the most part, I mean, there's a couple people you could talk. You can't just walk down the street and talk to Jane about it, though. You know what I'm saying? I've only met in my life one single person that could actually project. In real life, as I'm talking to them, we're not a dime a dozen.
Does your worldview affect the environment then and your scenery? Like, if you're let's say you think there's demons everywhere and everything's evil. I mean, is it going to be a nasty place?
Yeah, probably.
Or if you think everything's rainbows and
what if you're a communist?
Yeah, I don't think communists could project.
Ding. Probably not.
Yeah,
probably not.
I don't think they can.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Now
I'm not too fond of communists.
I was going to make some comments, but I won't bother.
Some communists.
Listen, guys, I wear my shit proud.
Oh, there you go.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's good. I was gonna say you can do it, but you gotta have a mask on when you're there.
Mask mandates.
Anyways, so So these are the three methods. And is there any intention that needs to be involved? Like, do you need to really like say like, okay, I'm going to leave my body, or any kind of warm up or anything like that?
You have to have a plan, like this is what as you're drifting out, you need to keep telling yourself, this is what I want. Because it'll start slipping from your mind. You need to keep telling yourself, like, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing this. This is my goal. This is my goal. And as you're getting out, then you've got to start telling yourself, make it brighter, make it vibrations up. So people think that as soon as they astral project, they can literally just go start flying around and meeting people. It's not like that. You've got to keep a stasis too, because your body, if something hits you in real life, back. Like if your cat jumps on you, and I say that because I see my cat right here and he has done this before. If he jumps here, scratches you, it's over. You're done. You're not coming back. You're coming back to your body, and that's it for that. So try again in 5 minutes.
So give me an example of what you mean by like the goal, or like what, like a plan.
Like if you want to see your dad, or you just want to learn how to, I don't know, fly or jump, or I actually don't fly much anymore. I jump from building to building. I think that's the funnest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anybody who says it's fake and you make it up in your mind because your everybody's environment is different. It's never the same environment that you're actually in, and that's why people say that it's actually fake. I have a theory about that too. I think that it's like Play-Doh, in that the astral world, it's tangible, it's finite, and you shape it as you go there, or somebody else shapes it for you before you go. But you just shape it. You don't create it, but you shape it in your mind how it's going to be for that time.
And if you meet somebody in there, somebody else has shaped part of that as well. Like, I mean, maybe possibly, that's part.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that you're just borrowing that world basically, and you're borrowing that Play-Doh and you're shaping it, or somebody else shaped it and you're playing with it. But just like a sandcastle or something, as soon as you walk away, it's rubbed clean, and then somebody else can do whatever.
That's like Darren's version of the digital simulation that we're living in. It just gets rendered when you need it. So you're rendering it as you go along, kind of.
Yeah.
So
needs an upgrade.
I want to talk about the VR part of it too, but so what's next for people to learn how to do it then? Not get frustrated. I mean, like,
not
so you
get frustrated because it takes. There's people online that are like, "Oh my God, I've been trying to do this for 3 weeks," and I'm like, 3 weeks, motherfucker! I've been trying to do this for 20 years, right? Like, it's never perfect. You kidding me? It took years for me to even be able to do it. Many times of trying, and people. Our entire society, it needs to be instant gratification, and that's it. And I'm like, you're never going to get that with this. Never. You need to put years in, and even then, you might succeed one time and fail 20 more times. This is before the internet. I'm talking back in like the late 90s, because I'm 41 years old. You had like 3 books total. I'd go to Walden Books and I'd be able to find 3 books, no internet or anything like that, and try to figure out how to do this. Now you got an entire internet's full of information, actually an overstimulus of information. I wish half of it wasn't out there, but the instant gratification from these millennials wanting to try to astral project, it's just ridiculous. I don't get it. Like, you need to put in the work. You're not just going to be gifted something like this. It doesn't work like that.
And then there's a lot of misinformation there too. So how are some of the ways that you sift through and discard the bogus stuff?
So when I'm talking to somebody, I try to gather whether or not they have really projected. There's some cues that you can take, like the way they describe it, or just most of the time they think that they could just walk out of their body and randomly just go do whatever the hell they want, and like that's not true. There's a long process to, you know what I mean? It's a fine stasis. Like, if you even misstep a little bit, you're going right back to your body. So I don't know how you astral projected 5 times in your life and you're already walking to Washington D.C. or whatever. But yeah, I try to sift through the misinformation, disinformation, the assholes. Actually, a good forum on Reddit, Astral Projection is okay, but Astral Army was the shit. Commander XXX, that's my buddy. I talked to him. I was actually going to do a round table with him. We haven't gotten around to it yet, though. That's where the real ones went. Like, I started going there because people were way more authentic than anywhere else on the internet.
Yeah. So tell us more about the warning. Like, if people if people are going to do this, they have to be forewarned as well that they might not like what they see, or they might.
You might not like what you see. If you're seeing loved ones, they may not be where you think they are. And I'm not saying they're in hell, but that stasis, purgatory, whatever. And they may have been there for a few years. You're going to be looked at funny if you talk to your friends about it. You're going to be seeing dark entities, because even if they are spirit guides that are friendly, they appear dark. Health risks, because doing this all the time at night, just trying to stay up or whatever and do it. I cramps throughout my body too sometimes, and I think sometimes that's why I got migraines. Especially like with my jaw and with my teeth clenched and all the vibration. It's tough. Listen, anybody who wants to do this, once you open a can of worms like that, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, put it that way. So once you're able to do it, you're stuck with it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. So before you start doing this, you got to ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah. Good point. So what's this VR thing you want to do with in regard to that?
Yeah. So I actually was trying to set up a like a VR chat thing. Although I started getting sick when I was doing VR, so I had to lay like a week off. I'm eventually gonna set up probably in VR chat. Which, do you guys do VR at all?
I have. I don't regularly hang out in there.
Listen, I hate Facebook. Facebook kicked the motherfucking door down for everybody to be in VR. That's actually the place to invest too.
Hang on, say that again. What did you mean by that?
What, Facebook kicked the door down?
Yeah.
They opened VR up to the mainstream where nobody else could or would.
Right. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going for it. Oh, yeah. They're going for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Not only do you no longer even need a computer. I mean, the Oculus is probably going to be able to run Android games within the next couple months. You can sideload games onto it. A machine that probably would have or should have cost well over $1,000, and you need a computer, you could literally just put on your fucking head and you're there. It's amazing.
So the metaverse is coming, basically?
If you look at the stats of how much the world was invested money-wise in VR, it's already, I forget, it's like 10 times the amount, but it's going to go up like 10 times the amount in the next 5 years from right now. So investing in any type of VR company, very good idea. And
not financial advice.
What's that?
I said not financial advice.
So what would you do? What would you do with it in regards to astral travel then? I mean, were you going to train people in there, or what are you thinking? Like,
yeah, that was my goal, was if somebody needed to talk, that they could come find me in like VR chat. And I believe my name on there is d.rek9160 or d.rek9160@gmail.com. I forget how you find people, but feel free, anybody that's listening, come find me.
So it's a VR, it's a virtual reality chat. It's like a little like a virtual reality conference room kind of thing in Facebook, or? Oh
no, have you been on VR chat before?
No.
Okay, so when you get on VR chat, it's free. Number one, the whole thing's free. Through Oculus, through anything. As soon as you get in there, you are given an avatar. Okay, you're automatically in, and you can change it. It's super easy to change it. You literally just, as you push a button on your remote, a pad comes up, like an iPad looking thing on your hand, and it's worlds that everybody created, and there's thousands of them, and you pick the world you want to go to, and you go. Like my kids like what the hell is that game with the little colored people with the visor?
Minecraft?
Whatever.
Oh, the Among Us.
Among Us, yeah.
Among Us.
So somebody made an Among Us thing. So literally you are in VR playing Among Us. There's a Minecraft one too. They play that. And then I go in, I find cool avatars, and the avatar, I forget what it's called. But anyway, you're in an avatar, whatever one you happen to choose from what people have made. You could steal other people's avatars too. Like if they have a cool one you like, you literally just point at them and press a button and you take their avatar. Like it's amazing, and it's all free. The whole thing's free. Never a penny. So I figured, if I'm in there, because when I'm in VR, I'm in there a good portion of the time. Come in, anybody can talk to me.
Well, send me a link. Send me your actual address or however people, and I'll put it in the show notes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next time the kids bring the Oculus here, maybe I'll see if I can track you down.
Absolutely.
Go and steal your avatar.
I'll go
If
in
you
there
happen
too.
to see
I'll go
me-
in there too. We'll meet in there. No.
If you happen to see me, make sure it's me and not my son. His little prick tends to steal my email sometimes and go in there.
Hey, you have one too, eh? We could have done a VR podcast.
Yeah.
I could have been like in my underwear in the
is
bathtub.
the future, man. That's
Yeah, I know. It's kind
they've
of
been saying
scary.
VR is the future for like the last 25 years. But Facebook, as much as I hate them, Facebook brought it to us.
Yeah.
The future is probably closer to Hunger Games.
Probably.
Where can our listeners track you now? What was the YouTube channel again?
Can we just go to the concentration camp in VR then?
VR concentration
Is that
camp?
just
Just
can
on
you
the weekends? I'm just
send
doing
me there?
weekends.
Just doing the weekends in the camp.
You're like
I'll
the
just go.
Zoolander?
Okay. I'm not getting the job. I'm just going to go to VR concentration
I got
camp
the
for the
black
week.
lung.
I got to go there 5 days a week. It's my
Love it.
punishment. It's
I
my
love you guys.
punishment. It's my punishment for not complying. I'll go to the ethereal dojo in VR and just.
This
hang
is
out
why I
there.
just comply.
Oh,
I'm a complier.
yeah.
Serial complier.
Have you guys seen Australia? Australia's like
Oh yeah, dude.
on straight lockdown, dude. Australia's becoming Hunger Games.
It's our
I never
future.
thought that.
It's our future. It's 6 months ahead. It's the testing grounds. It's
Fuck.
coming. It's coming. But maybe we can escape into the astral realm. I mean, maybe this is the time to learn that. I mean, when you're in the camp and you don't have any technology, just roll out of your body.
I'm going
Listen,
down in a
guys.
hail of bullets, bro. Straight up. No camp to be wrong.
Remember I told you there was a period of time when I couldn't actually travel?
Yeah.
I was in jail. I was upstate. I'm selling drugs. Again, literally years. Couldn't. It was almost like I was being punished. Went to jail. I was like, I may as well learn how to do this shit again. And that's when I really got good.
Like
I was
in
walking,
jail,
I
you got
couldn't do
good, or
anything else.
in jail, you got good, or
Yeah, amazing. Because number one, there was no fluoride. I wasn't drinking fluoridated water. I think that happens to be part of it. Number two, there wasn't as much telecommunication and stuff like that screwing with your brain waves. It was like I was in nature, you know. My entire system, my whole system was well tuned. Three meals a day at the exact same time, you know, working out every single day at the exact same times. That's when I went from being the minor leagues and what I did to
wow. And you had the blockages with drugs in the early 2000s?
2010 to 13.
Oh, okay.
14.
Okay. I thought it was earlier. I thought it was with mine. I had some
Nah,
pretty
No,
bad
I was
times in the early
30.
2000s. Oh, that's
No.
why, because it was my age too. For me, it was like 30 to 38 kind
Yeah.
of thing. It was pretty nasty. Yeah.
yeah, but I couldn't astral project for the life of me for a couple of years. I mean, I was either being punished or my system was so fucking doing drugs too. But like I said, when I went into jail, changed. It was eventually it was easier than ever. In fact, it was better than ever. And that's when I made that vault.
Wow.
Imagine being in jail and being able to walk outside of the motherfucking walls. Dude, that was the greatest thing in the world. That's why I was like, I love this again. Are you kidding me?
Awesome. Right on, buddy. Well, this has been a great chat.
Yeah, what
Thank
was
you,
the
I
YouTube
appreciate it.
channel again?
Either House of Heathens or Ethereal Dojo.
Yeah.
Type either of those in.
And we'll track
Thank
you
you.
down.
Right on, buddy. Yeah. Keep in touch
Love you guys.
and maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Thank
Yeah,
you. I
it's fun.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Go and retrieve some more souls for us. And check out the
Love
moon, please.
I will. I'll let you know how it is. Thank
Okay.
you.
If you ever bump into me, just let me wander around for a couple of months anyway. See if I can figure it out on my own.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, buddy.
I
See you.
All right,
appreciate it.
Jack. Have a good night.
Thank you.
And that was our chat with Derek English. What do you think, buddy?
I don't don't know. I think you're making fun of me a little too much there. But
Was that too much?
There might be some truth to it. Maybe. I mean, am I that resentful because I couldn't do it? Now I'm saying there's a risk to it.
Oh, you're caught on that? Then definitely. If that's your takeaway from the episode.
I think it was pretty funny, actually.
I think, but remember you had those special glasses?
I had the special glasses.
That were supposed to blink when you went into REM sleep.
No, I was going to buy them. That's for lucid dreaming. Or was that for astral travel?
No, at those times, I think you were conflating the two.
Maybe I was, yeah. I mean, I think either or. I was looking for either or probably. I mean,
I'm not an astral traveler.
I don't know if I've ever thought I could even astral travel, to be honest with you. That seems like the whole next level thing. You know?
From lucid dreaming?
Yeah. I did kind of lucid dream a couple times, but
I remember you flew once. Never hear the end of it.
Yeah. I think it's good, but I mean, I don't know. There's reading these old books, man. They're like, all this spiritual stuff is pretty risky, you know. You're opening yourself up. But, I mean, you know, we might have to be. I mean, the other thing I was thinking about is people that I know that get stuck in sleep paralysis or whatever. Maybe that's an answer too, you know, for that if they learn how to travel outside.
What?
Travel outside of your body to get out of sleep paralysis and to avoid attacks.
I feel like that's treating the symptom.
Yeah, you think it's putting a Band-Aid on? Yeah, it might be.
Just like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the whole trauma-based thing that we do now.
Yeah.
We just take that into the astral realm.
Yeah, exactly.
Take our trauma to the astral realm. Gonna take my trauma to the astral realm. Big thanks to Derek for coming on the show. Big thanks to you guys for listening.
Episode 280 was that Greg Doyle one. I'll put it in the chats. I forgot. I know, but I don't know if everybody picked up on it. But I meant to tell him.
There was no context to it, but I blurted out 280.
I put it in the show notes anyways.
Episode 280, Greg Doyle. Was he the Synchronicity Walks guy?
No. He was the Australian astral.
You know what's crazy?
Astral battler.
How was episode 280? It was in 2018.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? That was like half of our catalog.
It's in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
How can it be?
Put out a lot of shows.
Podcasting like crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy podcasters. Big thanks to Derek for coming on the show. Big thanks to you guys for listening. Even bigger thanks if you are part of the 1% that chooses to support the work. Maybe it's a great work. I don't know. We'll see if we get on to it. This is our magnum opus or not. Well, you're working on some other stuff that could be more done. We both are. Maybe this is. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
It is part of it.
If you want to support it, grimerica.ca/support. I know a lot of you do fall under the illusion that it's a free show just because it's there for free, but it's technically a value for value show where we're just make it for free and put it all out there for free. We don't have any sponsors or advertisers or affiliates.
Sponsors? Yeah.
No, we don't have sponsors or sponsors. Graham might have sponsors. I don't know. I haven't been in this closet. But we hope you guys support it. If you find some value from the show, if it's adding a little bit of value to your day, to your commute, is the show as valuable as your coffee on the way to work? How much does the coffee cost? Right? Maybe it costs that much. $4 a month, $3 a month, $1 a month, $50 a month. You decide. Grimerica.ca/support. Sign up for a monthly. Make a one-time donation today. A bunch of different options there if you don't like PayPal. Do head over to adultbrain.ca if you're an audiobook aficionado, or just type Graham Dunlop or into Audible or iTunes, and all of the books we've done will pop up. I believe we've just had the 19th one. We'll be going live right away with a few other in review. That includes all 3 secret doctrines, secret teachings of all ages, a bunch of great esoteric classics. And coming soon.
Lots to come, too.
Yeah, we got some fantastic ones coming down the pike. Head over to grimerica.ca/chats. What else?
That's about it.
That's it. Yeah. We love you, motherfuckers. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
Who's gonna kill this sacred cow? You were never political anyhow. Since when did you start trusting in the government? Since when was it okay to ridicule and shame your neighbor? Your opinions have become as fickle as artificial flavors. What matters most to you? What the TV host told you to do? Or a moral compass that points north, oh true. Who's gonna kill this sacred cow? You were never religious anyhow. Since when did you kiss the ring on the hand of the Pope? Since when do we need pharmaceuticals to cope? Your soul has become, ever-loving soul has become, as brittle as communion wafers. What matters most to you? What the Holy Ghost told you to do? Or a moral compass that points true north, oh true. I'm gonna kill this sacred cow. Bureaucrats think I'm non-essential anyhow. Since when has our culture become so lowbrow? It's all touchscreens, and nobody has any know-how. Your idea of fun is taking 1,001 photos of your duck face. Matters most to you what the celebrities post told you was cool, or a moral compass that points true north, oh true. I'm gonna kill this sacred cow. I'm gonna kill your 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 sacred cow.